San Antonio is absolutely electrified right now because the Spurs are officially back on top. The NBA just dropped their list of award finalists, and our very own San Antonio Spurs have emerged as a dominant force with nominations in 4 major categories, including Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, and Coach of the Year. It has been a massive turnaround for a team that struggled to find its footing for years, but now with Victor Wembanyama leading the charge alongside Keldon Johnson and head coach Mitch Johnson, the city is buzzing with real championship energy once again.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Speaking of that incredible momentum, the local coffee scene is getting in on the playoff action in a huge way. 8 Ball Coffee, in an awesome partnership with Spurs star Keldon Johnson, is officially bringing back the beloved tradition of free coffee for fans after every Spurs playoff victory. It is the perfect way to keep the city spirits high and celebrate the team's first postseason appearance since 2019, turning every morning after a win into a massive neighborhood block party for the loyal Spurs faithful. And stop the presses because Victor Wembanyama has just made league history. The San Antonio sensation has been named the first-ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in NBA history. This 7'4" Titan has been absolute nightmare fuel for every offense he faces, and the voters made it crystal clear that his impact is generational. He is setting records left and right, and with his eyes still set on the MVP trophy, the rest of the league is officially on notice that the Wemby era has arrived. Finally, we have to talk about Keldon Johnson as he gears up for Game 2 of the playoffs. After a quiet start in his postseason debut, experts are banking on the firecracker to come out swinging and make a major impact on the boards and in the paint. He is a key piece of this Spurs puzzle, and we expect him to be a massive factor as this series continues. If you want to stay in the loop on all things San Antonio, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Is it finally time to crown a new dynasty in San Antonio? The NBA just dropped their list of finalists for the major season awards, and let's just say, the Spurs aren't just back, they're taking over the conversation. After 7 long years of playoff drought, the Silver and Black didn't just make the postseason. They practically demanded a front-row seat at the awards ceremony with nominations in 4 major categories. At the center of this hurricane is, of course, Victor Wembanyama. The man is a generational anomaly, and he's not just chasing one trophy, he's a finalist for both Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP. Think about that for a second, a sophomore-caliber talent impacting the game on both ends of the floor at a level we haven't seen in decades. He led the league with 3.1 blocks a night, and his mentality is what strikes me the most. He's already talking like a legend, basically saying if you want to be an all-time great, you don't leave any silverware on the table. There's some serious chatter that he could be the first-ever unanimous DPOY. When asked about the competition, he just grinned. That's not arrogance. That's the cold, calculated confidence of a guy who knows he's changed the geometry of the game. But don't get it twisted, this isn't a one-man show. Keldon Johnson is finally getting his flowers as a 6th Man of the Year finalist. Playing all 82 games and providing that high-octane spark off the bench is exactly what makes a winning culture. And we have to talk about head coach Mitch Johnson. Orchestrating a 62-win season? That's not just luck. That's elite tactical management. He's transformed a young, hungry roster into a cohesive unit that knows exactly when to lean on their superstar and when to trust the system. It's been a long time since San Antonio felt this electric. We're talking about the legacy of Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili, and suddenly, we have a new generation knocking on that same door. Whether or not they walk away with the physical trophies, these nominations prove that the Spurs have officially completed their turnaround. The real question now is how they'll handle the pressure of the playoffs. What do you think? Does Wembanyama deserve that MVP nod over veterans like Jokic? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with the rest of the postseason, because if this season was any indication, We are in for a historic ride. Ever hear a city wake up to the sound of pure, unadulterated joy? In San Antonio, that sound is a chorus of car horns blasting through downtown, marking a long-awaited return to the NBA playoffs. After a 5-year drought, the Spurs are finally back, and the city's energy is absolutely electric. But there is more to this celebration than just basketball. There is a revitalized tradition brewing, quite literally. Following their Game 1 victory, local hotspot 8-Ball Coffee teamed up with Spurs star Keldon Johnson to bring back a beloved piece of local culture: free post-win coffee. It is a brilliant move, not just for the fans, but for the soul of the community. The concept started with a simple pitch from shop owners Joseph and Benjamin Ontiveros to Johnson, who is a regular at the shop. They slapped his caricature on a cup, and just like that, a tradition that had been missing since the late 2010s was reborn. By covering the tab himself, Johnson isn't just acting like a star player. He is stepping into the role of a local legend who actually gets what this city needs. 8-Ball Coffee has cultivated a vibe that reminds me of that classic Cheers mentality, where everyone from gearheads and skaters to local artists like Mando Zimmerl can find a sense of belonging. Seeing fans like Magdalena Perez show up in full 1999 championship gear, it is impossible not to feel that nostalgia for the Tim Duncan era. It is proof that in a city where the Spurs are the only show in town, the team's success acts as a barometer for the collective mood. If you are in San Antonio, get down to 8-Ball Coffee between 8 and 10 a.m. after a win to grab a cup on the house. If you love seeing athletes pour back into their community, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. What is the one tradition that makes your city feel like home? After all, when the silver and black are winning, the whole city feels like it is finally firing on all cylinders. Have you ever witnessed a player so dominant that the entire basketball world stops to agree on his greatness? We are living through history, folks. Victor Wembanyama has officially shattered the ceiling, becoming the first player in NBA history to be unanimously voted Defensive Player of the Year. At just 22 years old, this 7'4" force of nature didn't just lead the league in blocks. He effectively dismantled opposing offenses every single night. When a peer like Keldon Johnson calls you the best player in the world, you know the impact is real. But here is where it gets truly mind-blowing. In the last decade, we have only seen 2 instances of a player securing 100% of the first-place votes for a major award: Wembanyama's Rookie of the Year win, and now this. Not even icons like Michael Jordan or LeBron James ever managed a unanimous major award victory. To put it simply, Wembanyama is doing things that haven't been done in at least 50 years of basketball. He's the youngest DPOY winner ever, officially putting the Spurs in a league of their own with the most defensive award winners in NBA history. Despite the hype, Wemby stays grounded, crediting the team system and the habits instilled by his coaches. It is rare to see this much humility paired with this much sheer, game-changing dominance. But don't blink, he's already a finalist for MVP, and we could see him walking away with a trophy case full of honors by the end of the week. Is this the greatest start to a career we've ever seen? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. The Wemby era isn't just arriving, it has already arrived, and it is here to stay. If you're panicking because Keldon Johnson had a quiet Game 1, you might be looking at the wrong stat sheet. In his long-awaited playoff debut, the guy only put up 3 points on 4 shots, which isn't exactly the explosive performance we expected from a 6th Man of the Year contender. But let's hit the brakes on the doom and gloom narrative for a second. Keldon is a literal engine of toughness for this San Antonio squad, and one lukewarm game isn't going to change the fact that he is built for this moment. Think about what he actually did. He grabbed 7 rebounds, played solid defense, and did the dirty work when the spotlight was shining elsewhere. The offense in Game 1 was funneled through Wembanyama, Fox, and Castle, and that's just how the rotation shook out. Johnson is a 7-year vet who has been through the rebuilding trenches. He knows that adaptation is the name of the game. He isn't a player who needs the ball in his hands to dictate the pace. He's the guy who bullies larger defenders, uses his leverage to clear space, and hunts offensive rebounds like it's a personal vendetta. When he's aggressive on the glass, he creates second-chance opportunities that change the entire energy of the game. Moving into Game 2, expect a course correction. Keldon is a firecracker, and he knows exactly where he fell short. As opposing defenses lock in on Victor Wembanyama, the lanes are going to open up for a player with Keldon's motor. He doesn't just play basketball, he outworks people. So don't let the noise get to you. The shots will fall, the paint will open up, and KJ will remind everyone why he's the heartbeat of this bench rotation. What do you think? Will Keldon break out for 20 points in Game 2, or is his value better spent as a glue guy? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned, because playoff basketball is a marathon, not a sprint.